Hey guys, welcome to Rising Vibrations. This reading is called His Point of View, the breakup. This is a retrospective per zodiac sign for a male. If a male broke up with you or you broke up with a male, it's looking at his perspective as to why you broke up. This is for time now, all the way back about 7 years, believe it or not, because I'm looking at the movements of Saturn through Libra, Scorpio, Sagittarius, and Capricorn. So watch this video if you want to know his point of view as to why you broke up. We're going to go in a bit more detail, but I'll save it for the reading. So anyway, thank you for your support. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for the thumbs up. Thank you for the shares. And thank you for hanging in there with me. I'll see you guys later. Bye-bye. Hey guys, welcome to Rising Vibrations. This reading is for those of you who broke up with or divorced from, whether it was you divorcing him or him divorcing you or breaking up, from a Libra, Sun, Moon, Rising, or Venus male. This is a retrospective. We're going back 7.5 to 8 years because we're following the movements of Saturn through Libra, through Scorpio, through Sagittarius, and now in Capricorn. We're also taking into account the blood moon tetrads, as well as some of the eclipse energy, but not really. We're following moon cycle. We're also following the fact that Venus is retrograde. This is a retrospective. His point of view of the breakup. So we're going to look at the karmic energy for the Libra, for the Libra male. The karmic energy of why you broke up for the Libra male. Then we're going to look at things you may not know, what happened from his point of view, what could have changed his mind, and where this is headed. This is for the Libra, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus male retrospective. Why you broke up. It's a karmic view. We have defiance. Look at that little boy, little troublemaker here. This is just non-compliance. This is the Libra feeling like their partner is not the right person for them. This is feeling like their partner may have anger issues or may have been angry type personality, a disagreeable type personality. This is them almost putting, in some respect, the Libra male some type of standard or benchmark that someone cannot reach, where they're bound to be continually disappointed. This is the Libra male being in their perfectionistic energy, especially with the scales, with the balance, them wanting to achieve the unachievable. How hard is it to get scales perfectly balanced all the time? How hard is it for someone to put on this perfect face all the time, whether it's emotionally or even visually? It's nearly impossible. But I feel like this was at the root of their karmic energy for this breakup that occurred between now and 7 years back, 7.5, 8 years back, for the Libra male, looking for perfection, putting unrealistic standards on a person, and then being very disappointed and angry when they don't reach this perfection. And it's also them feeling like their partner was too aggressive. So that's the opening, guys. Let's look into a detail of what happened, past feelings and attitudes between the two of you. It's for Libra, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus male retrospective. His point of view for the breakup. What was his point of view? I want to take that. We have the 9 of Pentacles. And we also have the 10 of Pentacles. So again, from this movement, from the 9 of Pentacles to the 10 of Pentacles, this is, for me, seeking a type of perfection. This is like, things should be this way for now. We should live in this kind of a location. You should have this type of a look uh, while you're pregnant. But then after you're pregnant, you should get back in shape and your body should be perfect and you should look the same way you looked before. And you should act the same way you looked before. We should have this kind of a house now because this is what we can afford. But I expect that we will have an even better, more beautiful house. This is about upgrading. This is about a desire for them to upgrade. So he may have felt like he wasn't elevating in the way that he wanted to in his life. Could have also been some things around work and around achievement at work, more his issues even than your issues. Just feeling like he's not or was not in the place he wanted to be in his life at his age, and feeling like he might be better off alone, going it alone, because he can have less places where he has to spread his resources and energy. If he can just focus on himself, his fitness, his diet, his money, his living, it's easier. So this is about also wanting to run away from responsibilities and keep all resources for themselves. It's for the Libra, Sun, Moon, Rising male. What actions caused the breakup in his mind? What actions caused the breakup in his mind? We have the Four of Cups. And we have the Seven of Wands. This is him feeling like there was too much disagreement in the relationship, too many arguments. But again, I feel like there was an impossible standard put there. People have disagreements. People have arguments. No one can have the perfect relationship all the time with the perfect presentation. But any little disagreement for him was seen like a massive event. So it's like there was so much restriction. You can't really express yourself because if you express yourself, it was taken the wrong way. It was taken that you were taken like you were being ultra aggressive in his mind. And I feel like in some ways this could have been on purpose. You know how someone causes a fight or disagreement and then they use it as a reason to go out, or they use this fight or disagreement as a reason to almost step outside of the relationship or do something that they wanted to do that they were afraid to ask you to do. So there's also a kind of strive for independence. The Libra, in effect, could have just wanted to be independent and be alone and focus on themselves and focus on their own life and future and what they wanted versus having to do this in a joint way. Let's look at what could have changed his mind. This is shoulda, woulda, coulda. What could have changed his mind? This is for the Libra, Sun, Moon, Rising male, and Venus, who you broke up with or who broke up with you. What could have changed his mind? We have the Queen of Swords. And we have Major Arcana Temperance. So him being able to achieve this perfect balance, or him feeling like in his mind that things were, in a way, perfect. We have the Queen of Swords. This is also, let's say, something about perfection in the Queen of Swords. She's the most serious orientation of the female, feminine. Serious, getting down to business, feeling like you're working towards the same goals, feeling like you have the same objectives in life. It seems to me like the Libra male had a different objective than yours, and he just felt like you weren't the right person for him. Like he would be better off on his own or better off starting over. Seems to be very focused on him and what he wanted versus anything that really had to do with you, if that makes sense. It had very little to do with you, all of this for the Libra. male, sun, moon, rising, and Venus. Let's see what else we can pull out where this is headed. So what could have changed his mind? If he thought that everything was on track according to his life schedule and plan. And we all know that nothing goes according to schedule and plan. So if you had any hiccups, if you had any obstacles come up in your life, again, it moves away from perfection. And it causes him to feel completely, with this temperance, off balance. That happens in life. You have shit happens, things happen, which knock you off course. So what could have changed his mind? Nothing. Because I feel like the Libra male, sun, moon, rising, Venus, was not living in reality. Very unrealistic expectations. This is the Hangman. Very unrealistic expectations. This is you feeling like you can never measure up. And them feeling like you can never measure up. And them feeling like they could never measure up to their own unrealistic expectations. So the Libra would have to start moving into a place where they recognize what's realistically achievable and really feeling good about it, not feeling like they're deficient because they can't meet this measure of perfection, something completely unrealistic. Let's finish looking at where this is headed. I feel like the Libra may be coming out of this in a way, because we have Temperance and Hangman here, kind of realizing where they may have been quite unrealistic in their life and expectations. And we have the Three of Pentacles. You know, there is some avoidance here for the Libra. They may be putting their focus really in their career and really trying to not look at themselves because of this measure of perfection they want to achieve. This is for the Libra male. So if they see themselves aging, if they see that they haven't been able to get in and make a perfect type of relationship work with their perfect person, this has been very disappointing for them. So I feel like they're starting to look at this issue for themselves outside of you, but it might be too painful for them to recognize that time is going by. They're not reaching these unattainable standards. So where do they go from here? They have to, if you want to get to this place of realism, you have to look at this like a desirable place, and it's not desirable for the Libra right now. They're still searching. So where do we have to close the reading for the final energy to close this out? This is for Libra, his perspective of why the breakup occurred. We have the Major Arcana, the Empress, and we have the Eight of Swords. This is, again, them perhaps focusing on other distractions in life versus really turning things inward. They're struggling with this right now. They're struggling with this right now. So if you try to gauge or discuss anything with them, they're just not ready. The Libra male who broke up with you or who you broke up with, they're not really ready. They're not really in that place where they're ready to engage those type of discussions. Especially if they still have people coming forward to spend time with them, other women coming forward, or men, but in this case, mostly women coming forward, because this reading is for women in essence. It's just reinforcing the fact in a way, like if they're attractive, they have other women coming forward and showing interest in them, they don't feel like anything's wrong with them. They can pretend like, in fact, it was you, not them, because they're still desirable. They don't have to look at themselves. So we're going to pull one more for Libra for the karmic energy closeout here, because I want to try to close this loop. We have, look at that, we have the Ice Queen. And you see how she's crying. Do you see those tears? This is just not being satisfied. This is feeling hampered. This is feeling like you're deficient. This is them knowing that something is wrong if they're in this place where they have been striving for perfection their whole life and not being able to reach it. And they're going to struggle with this a bit longer, it seems to me, from the karmic energy. Something's coming up that they want to address it, but they're in a position where they can still avoid addressing it right now. Right now, when we look at this, it might change. So anyway, you guys, thank you for your support. I appreciate you watching the video. I appreciate your likes, your shares, and your subscribes. And hopefully I'll see you back here again soon. Bye-bye.